Good holding, Blaise. He's still holding on. That's good work.
It's a bit awkward, but
For any almost 4-year-old, a morning out on the swings and slides is cause for a fit of the giggles. But for little Blaise Wyatt, a trip to the local park in Ipswich with big brother Corey is a monumental achievement.
Come on.
Everything that Blaise does is shaped by what's known as spastic quadriplegic cerebral palsy. Blaise was diagnosed when he was 10 months old, a moment that is still raw for Dad Cameron and Mum Dawn.
Just changes your life. You go in 1 minute thinking that you're going to a regular doctor's appointment and you come out and just shattered. Your life's not the same anymore.
He was facing a life of total immobility. Doctors said Blaise would never even roll over.
When you bring it up and talk about it, it's always there. It'll never go away. That time when everything seemed to be taken away, that's what I think about. Not being able to play football or soccer with both my boys.
For these young parents, that first year after his diagnosis was a blur of anger and bewilderment.
You better eat what's in your mouth, hey? No smiling. No smiling. Wait and see.
Then came a fierce determination to give Blaise something more, and a search that led them to an extraordinary elastic contraption called the TheraSuit.
I see TheraSuit for some kids as the difference between being in a wheelchair or walking.
Exercise physiologist and psychologist Chad Timmermans specialises in treating kids with cerebral palsy.
Cerebral palsy is basically a term that refers to as brain cell death. We usually experience or see cerebral palsy as children having problems with the control of their body. Use of their arms, stiffness in their body. They're kids in slow motion, really.
And how does the TheraSuit work?
The TheraSuit is basically a biomechanical exoskeleton. What it does is increases the amount of feedback the child receives, or the child's brain receives from its body. You can basically correct or challenge a child's motor control.
Having exhausted all therapy options in Australia, Dawn knew the TheraSuit was Blaise's last chance.
Here we go.
But they'd need to go to America and spend their life savings to get there. Blaise endured 6 weeks of physical therapy in Detroit. It was grueling, confronting, but for his parents, so encouraging.
It was great. We got home a week and a half after he set up. I can still remember the first day I saw him. It was a beautiful day. I put him outside. I went to hang the washing. He was on a blanket. I went to hang the washing. I came out of the laundry and he was sitting up, half in the sun, half in the shade, and the sun was shining through the back of his hair, and I can still see it. Beautiful.
Open your eyes.
But there was such a long way to go. And travelling back to America this year was unaffordable.
Yeah.
So Dawn teamed up with 2 local families to do the next best thing. You brought the TheraSuit to Ipswich.
We did.
What's that cost you?
We've split it. So Blaise's share is about $15,000 for 6 weeks.
Now, for 3 hours every day, Blaise is massaged and manipulated, pushed and pulled, and then strapped into his elastic bodysuit. How do those bungees, those elastic cords, help him?
They replicate weak muscles. So if somebody's got weak core muscles, there'll be extra bungees over their stomach muscles. So it gives them that extra little bit of support. And it'll help them build them up by putting them in the right position, and they'll be able to use them properly.
And every day, physiotherapist Nico Passanti is methodically pushing Blaise towards being upright. Among the many challenges here, getting Blaise used to viewing the world standing up.
He needs to do it to get where he wants to go, and I need to be able to look back and know that I have given Blaise everything that I could possibly give him to be the best he can be. He's coming. He deserves to ride a bike and to kick a ball and to eat ice cream. He deserves all that. There are things that you can do. You can do it. You can help them.
Because why? You were being told you couldn't help them?
Basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Basically, we were told there is no hope. And there is. There was always hope.
But progress is always slow and at times painful.
It feels like torture. It feels like torture to me. It looks like we're torturing him.
Back in Ipswich, the intensity of Blaise's therapy is almost too much for Mum Dawn to bear.
What are your emotions when you see him going through this?
Oh, I wish I... Yeah, it's terrible, but what's worse, the diagnosis of cerebral palsy and the prediction of how he's going to be, or to work now and try and teach him the skills to use? I wish I could swap in places. It's hard. It's really hard.
That's it.
Good.
As Blaise enters the second half of his 6-week program, the challenge is getting the brain and the body to piece together the many elements of walking. Not just developing muscle strength, but also a sense of balance.
So to people watching this who say, what are you putting that kid through, what do you say?
People may find it confronting, but we have a choice, Peter. We have a choice to measure Blaise up for a wheelchair, or we have a choice to increase his ability to walk and his chances to walk.
No, your head up, that's it, that's it. And...
One of my most vivid memories is the moment my 2 little ones took their first steps. A moment Dawn and Cameron were told would never happen with Blaise. But right now, a little miracle. Blaise is preparing to do the impossible, to put one foot in front of the other.
You can walk to me.
Yeah, that's 600 steps. You can walk.
Out of his walker, and so hesitant at first, Blaise manages one snail-pace stride.
You've got a proud dad over here, Blaise.
It's great to see him take those steps. I think it's that face is realising that he's doing it.
It is tortuously slow progress, but it may as well be winning the Olympic 100 metres for his elated mum and dad.
A whole new world has just opened up.
Yeah, yes. Good boy.
I know, it's fantastic.
Oh, you should. He's brave, he's courageous.
Oh, he's doing
He's a
such
darling.
good job. The steps today, there aren't words. There aren't words to describe how that feels inside, to see somebody moving forward. As a mother being told not to expect that he's going to move like that, to crawl or to walk, to watch those steps and to see him move his legs one after the other, that's a big deal. Against all odds, he's done it.
When he stopped and actually looked up and realised that I just took a few steps. Good boy, yeah, good boy. That was that moment you realise, yeah, he's going to do this. He's going to make it. That's the moment you look for, and then you realise that this has worked now. What can we do next? Where can we go next? What's the next therapy? What's the next stage? What's the next chapter that will open that next door?
There's no doubt Blaise still has some real challenges ahead. But that won't stop his mum and dad giving it their all.
I don't see him as an adult sitting in a wheelchair with me pushing him around. I don't see him like that. I'll just wait and see where his journey takes us and let him go as far as he can go.
And hang on to those every little step that he takes.
One step after the other and you're walking.